That's what I meant. Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another, what is with my camera angle right now? Okay. Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another stale movie review. Today we have another K horror selection for you guys. I watched The Host, directed by Bong Joon-ho, who is the director of Snowpiercer. If anyone's seen that, I still haven't seen that one all the way through. But I finally got around to watching The Host, which, from what I could tell, you know, just like doing a simple Google search of it, it is like the quintessential Korean horror movie, I guess. Like, it's like, it is the main one. So The Host is about pollution in the Han River, creating like this mutated monster, amphibian kind of monster thing that attacks the people of South Korea. I'm not really sure where they are. Seoul? Probably Seoul. So the Host focuses on one particular family. The youngest of the family, the daughter Hyun-soo, gets taken by the monster, and her father Gang-do and his brother and sister and his father are trying to get her back from the monster because they don't think she is dead. Well, they do think she's dead, and then they get a call from her and she's trying to tell them she's like in a sewer somewhere. So it's them like kind of like fighting against the government to try and find Hyun-soo. So let's get right into what I liked about the movie. It was actually fairly scary for a for a monster movie like that. Like, I'm usually not too crazy about these kinds of movies, but this one was all right. I think the reason why I liked it so much compared to other ones is that it focused on the family more so than the monster. Like, it was more about this like kind of broken family coming together to save the youngest, you know, and you know, it's like them against the South Korean government and the American government and this river monster. So I think that's why I liked it a little bit more, because it was more about the people rather than the monster. The monster is just kind of like a villain. You know, we don't really go any farther than like how it was created, how the monster came about. So Scott Wilson, aka Herschel Green from The Walking Dead, I love that he is in this movie, portrays a real life US military doctor, something like that, that orders a South Korean subordinate to dump a whole bunch of formaldehyde down the drain, which leaks out into the Han River. So this was an actual event that happened back in the year 2000. Same exact thing you see in the opening of a movie. A superior ordered his subordinate, much to the protest of the South Korean subordinate, to dump this very dangerous chemical. Essentially dump it into the Han River. Basically, he dumped it down the drain. The drain lets out into the river, which caused like a huge uproar. Of course, it's like there's a whole bunch of stuff about the South Korean government not being able to prosecute the US doctor for a while, and even when he was finally convicted, I read that he, thanks Daisy, even though he was convicted, I read that he actually didn't serve any time for doing that, which sucks. Of course, no monster has hopped out of the Han River yet, so I mean, just that part of the story is true. The whole monster bit is not true, for now. All right, so what I didn't like about the movie, for this being made, man, like 10 years ago now, this movie is, the graphics are actually like kind of all right, but I think like as I was watching it, they're like at that borderline where they're not gonna hold up much longer. Like I feel like give this movie like 2 or 3 more years and those graphics aren't holding up anymore, unfortunately. But for 2006, they're really impressive. I love how I put that in the bad. It's not 100% bad, it's just kind of like, but for 2006, it's really impressive how well they blend in to the rest of the movie. So, but they're very close to not holding up. Like I said, in a couple of years, people will watch this movie and the graphics aren't gonna hold up that well. And the main thing I didn't enjoy about this movie was the ending, which of course I'm not gonna talk about in detail. I'll just say it was like kind of like a meh feeling. There wasn't as much closure as I would have wanted, I guess. Like, there was just, I feel like, you know, they introduced this family and they went through a lot getting Hyun-soo back, and I just feel like there just wasn't enough closure. I wanted to know what happened to the rest of them and not just Gangju. So I know he was the main character, but come on. I just wanted a little bit. I just want a little bit more, just a little bit more. It was super ambiguous ending. So that's all I wanted, was just a little bit more. But overall, I did really enjoy this. I think it did live up to a little bit of the hype I've heard about this movie, so that's always good. Don't like to be let down when something is super hyped up. So more or less it held up to all the hype about this movie. So if you've seen The Host, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. This is still on Netflix. Also believe it's on Shudder. Might even be on Hulu. It's that popular of a movie. So there's plenty of places where you guys can watch it if you want to. And if you go watch it, be sure to come back and let me know your thoughts. And until tomorrow, stay strange. Bye. Alright guys, be sure to follow me on all of my social medias over here if you want. Yeah. And there's a little cookie thing down there where you can subscribe also if you want.